Harassment methods. Overview of harassment methods used by FBI's COINTELPRO Operation Gladio, covert community recruits and stay-behind armies, or instruction manual for community gang stalkers. From Chapter 18, Instruction Manual with Harassment Methods for Community Gang Stalkers, Undercover Community-Based Agents. Gang stalking is a covert counterintelligence operation to deprive and isolate the victim for climate control, to stage a synthetic psychological collapse for trafficking or exploitation, to stage a synthetic suicide programming for eugenics, an assisted suicide programming, to deprive the victim of any peace and justice for social injustice, forced oppression, also known as slavery. Welcome back. Welcome back to the program, everybody. Welcome back to another show. Welcome back to another episode. Good morning or good afternoon to all of my viewers, listeners, and Soul Tribe family. The name of this program is called It's a Conspiracy, But It Ain't No Theory. It's a Conspiracy, But It Ain't No Theory is a nonprofit social service agency suicide prevention campaign servicing the needs of families and foster children at risk. Lending my voice to help raise awareness by soft publishing a book trilogy called Lucy's Lair. Lucy's Lair is a graphic novel based on true events following my life as a freelance artist. This program is intended to help encourage, heal, and empower survivors of cancel culture and rape culture, providing free information and evidence regarding child abuse, sexual assault, domestic violence, electronic harassment, gang stalking, conspiracy, and true organized hate crimes against humanity, collective and covert. Your company can help by providing funds in a grant or by donating goods and services as I continue delivering this information and evidence to the general public and advocating for foster children in need. Thank you in advance for all of your support. On today's episode, I'm going to be discussing gang stalking, occult ritual stalking, community harassment with malicious intent, hypersimulation theory, covert psychological operations, plus surviving the New World Order, surviving the New World Disorder per usual, surviving manufactured chaos, surviving manufactured karma, surviving the electronic targeted killings, and surviving the electronic targeting holocaust. My name is Adrienne Alese. I am the author and creator of a book trilogy called Lucy's Lair. Lucy's Lair is a book trilogy reflecting my life as a survivor of rape culture, child sex trafficking, and psychological gas chambers. On this program, I advocate for women's rights, basic human rights, and the rights of those disabled. I also advocate on behalf of the foster children in the CPS system, orphans, single mothers, foster mothers, and those less fortunate. Targeted individuals or trafficked victims are predominantly women. 65 to 70% of targeted individuals are white American women or those who identify as such. This makes gang stalking an illegal operation or a hate crime that is sexually and politically motivated towards American women and their children. This program is a dedication to the targeted individual community. The objective of the opposition or the counterintelligence program, COINTELPRO 2.0, is to subvert all of the target's potential, to terminate and punish all supporters and sympathizers, to round down the target's output and audience, to marginalize the target, to eliminate connections and networking ability. Project Monarch programming refers to a conspiracy theory claiming that the Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, developed a covert trauma-based mind control program. The conspiracy alleges that this program was an offshoot of the real and now widely known CIA project called MK Ultra, which sought to develop techniques for interrogation and mind control. Allegations of monarch programming. Advocates of the monarch conspiracy theory claim that it used systemic torture and abuse to intentionally cause extreme trauma to subjects, forcing their minds to disassociate and create alter egos or manipulate multiple personalities. These personas could then be, quote, programmed. According to the theory, these alters could then be, quote, programmed using symbols and specific triggers, also known as anchors, to carry out a range of clandestine operations such as assassination, sex slavery, and intelligence gathering. Appendix 1, keywords and phrases taken directly from this manual. Appendix 2, key terms from Rich's New World War, revolutionary methods for political control. Electronic targeted killings, ETK comment. Note that the terms, definitions, military documents, laws, and patents provided by Rich prove the existence of the operations described in Kilde's, quote, manual. Appendix 3, European Parliament Resolution on Operation Gladio. Appendix 4, From Total Individual Control Technology by Omniscience. Part 4, Physical Sabotage. Physical sabotage is an especially effective form of punishment when it is carefully limited to low-value item below the value where police will take the report seriously. For example, burning a target's house down or even stealing an expensive appliance would bring official investigators into the picture, so that is not done. Sabotage producing extreme safety hazards is generally not suitable for operations because of the potential for bringing official investigators to an accident scene. So while damaging the brake system of a target's vehicle is not allowed for community-based agents, draining some of the oil, transmission fluid, or radiator antifreeze is allowed, but not all of it. The goal is to make it look as if the target is negligent in maintaining fluid levels and generally not causing a catastrophic failure that non-targets might see as sabotage. It is very important to apply punishment by way of large number of small value sabotage acts because that makes it look like the target is forgetful, exaggerating, or in some cases even delusional if they complain about many cases of small value damage. The target's associates will simply refuse to believe that anyone but the target is responsible. Sabotage is very important in that it lets the target know they are totally helpless to stop it and can't even complain about it effectively without appearing mentally ill. The organization is very fortunate in that some people hearing about the sabotage from a target did the sabotage themselves, quote, to get attention. Sabotage is applied at the target's home, workplace, and on their vehicle. This requires the assistance of locksmiths and alarm technicians. Your local control center will supply this help and will bring specialists in from a distance in the case of rural areas. Here are some examples of sabotage a community-based agent may be assigned to carry out: entering a vehicle or home and changing control and radio settings, replacing window washer fluid with water, possibly destroying the system in winter, scratching the paint on the target's vehicle, scratching furniture and valuables, tire sabotage from removing some air right up to slashing a sidewall if authorized by the center, simulating a break-in electric window heater strips, cutting off the four-way flasher button, removing substantial amounts of oil, transmission fluid, or antifreeze, but not enough to cause catastrophic failure. Moving things around inside the vehicle to show the target someone broke in. Unlocking the vehicle and leaving it unlocked, possibly even with door open. Small cuts to car's upholstery. Unlocking the target's front or back door and leaving it ajar while the target is away. Moving furniture or carpets around fairly frequently to show the target someone was there. Stealing low-value items, especially items like scissors, boyfriends, which can be easily misplaced, keeping them until the target replaces the item, then return the missing item, often in a place the target checked. Stealing important papers, especially those which will cost money to replace. Stealing irreplaceable photographs. While the target is at work, remove mail from their box and toss it around, repeatedly making wall pictures crooked, setting clocks to the wrong time, repeatedly dumping consumable supplies, an example, coffee, to make the target think they are no longer capable of managing their supplies well, starting small rips in new clothing which are widened on repeated visits to the laundromat, ripping crotches out of the target's underwear, or stealing finest underwear, swimsuits, etc. Replacing clothing with similar items which are too small for the target, like for children that target does not have. Ironing inside button flags over, making buttoning the t-shirt or top difficult. Carefully working the tip of a knife through seams in any air mattress or cushion the target may own, including replacements on a daily basis. Breaking zippers in clothes and bags, perhaps by pulling out a tooth or two. Shoving a knife through the soles of waterproof boots. At work, removing screws from the target's office chair. Or at home, dinner table, leaving only one screw of 4 left to tilt the table with china. At work, damaging or destroying, if not extremely obvious, a target's work from a previous day. For example, the computer is broken again, possibly worse. At work, replacing current copies of computer files with an older copy, particularly serious if target is a computer programmer. At work, where some employees are or can be recruited to be community-based agents, set up, quote, mistaken deliveries of heavy goods which block the target's office. At work, if the target is responsible for parts of the operation which can be sabotaged, do so repeatedly just as the target starts eating lunch or is about to leave for home. At work, where the target is responsible for materials that can't be locked up, sabotage, or with special permission from the control center, steal the material. Thefts have to be carefully considered and authorized by your local control center. Unless you have authorization, do not steal. One particularly effective type of theft is to remove small value but often used items from the target's premises. Once the target has been observed purchasing a replacement, the item is then returned. This not only causes the target to spend money uselessly, it also imposes a feeling of total helplessness on the target. So in any case, thanks so much for joining me on today's episode of It's a Conspiracy, but It Ain't No Theory. For the record, and to the best of my knowledge, I have been on the CIA's hit list for an electronic targeting homicide and Holocaust officially since October 31st, 2019, Halloween, after the tattoo shop I frequent was broken into and my son's name was tagged on the inside of the tattoo shop window. It is apparent to me that I am the victim of organized crime. After the death of Jerron's baby cousin, Jennifer Alfaisa, who was 25 years old, on August 1st, 2021, approximately a week and a half after my cell phone alerted me that hackers were tracking me, I started this channel in fear for my life when I tried to file in court for domestic servitude and was denied access to the law library. My safety is jeopardized. None of this is for attention. I am not crazy, nor do I have a habit of telling lies. So far, I haven't made a single penny doing the Lord's work and speaking the gospel truth here on this program, delivering words of encouragement, and true news, not fake news. Generally, I don't make any friends discussing deep-seated underlying political issues such as rape culture. Quite the contrary. I have lost my home, my family, my friends, my career as a model, my reputation, health, and I am forced to flee from this cult of deadly mobsters daily. I have been forced into impoverishment, and even though I am homeless, none of my family, my parents, have not asked me or called to see how I'm doing, not even once. Instead, they prefer to victim blame, to gaslight, and to argue. This is the reason for my crisis. My life should be so much different than it currently is. It should be the exact opposite. I should have been married, a married homeowner with foster children of my own by now, settled into a community and church. I am currently being oppressed as my constitutional rights are being violated daily, and I'm deprived of my right to life. So, if you wouldn't mind, if you appreciate the truth and the work I do here on my program, please like, share, comment, subscribe, tip, or donate today. Every penny helps me to regain my social support, reputation, and independence. I don't smoke or drink, so no money is wasted. Thank you. Social engineering is a crime against humanity. Exploitation of illusory explanations to conceal directed energy crimes. This is social engineering. Cut your shower short to conserve our water. I'm so proud of my conservative efforts. So the fact that I am cutting my shower short conserves energy, water resources. The fact that I walk and I don't drive, same exact situation. I'm doing more for the climate than these so-called environmentalists. Charlie Kirk was shot for expressing himself politically. These are cover stories to conceal directed energy crimes, which is electronic targeted killings, an electronic targeting holocaust. So anyways, those stories that the media sells, it's out for sensationalism. And so all of this conspiracy, organized hate crimes, it's all sensational. What do I always say about the truth? 3 main things about the truth. The truth never wavers. You never have to worry about remembering the truth because, like I said, it never wavers, it never changes. And the truth always prevails.